Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us for day one of the two-day HPC AI Advisory Council 2020 UK conference. My name is Brian Sparks, and I'm the Director of Worldwide Operations for the Council, and will be today's moderator. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank everyone at STFC DRAC for their partnership and support of this conference and for helping with the Council's mission and learning objectives. I'd also like to thank our media partners, Gabriel Consulting, HPC Wire, Inside HPC, Intersect 360, The Next Platform, and Orion X for their ongoing coverage of the Council's worldwide conferences and activities. Obviously, we would have loved to do this conference in person as we previously intended, but we're happy to be able to bring this to you live over the web. During these times, we hope everyone is safe and continue to remain healthy. We have a robust agenda for the next 3.5 hours with great topics and speakers, and I encourage everyone to ask questions via the Q&A window, and our presenters will try to answer them after their presentations. This webinar is being recorded, and the sessions will be made publicly available. All slides will be available on the Council's conference website over the coming days. With that, let me introduce you all to Gilad Shainer, Chairman of the HPC Advisory Council. Gilad, you have the floor.
Well, actually, I have the screen, right? To be exact.
The screen or floor, your choice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Brian. I'm happy to open with the team from the HPC Advisory Council and the great support from the DRAC team. The 2020, unfortunately, virtual, not physical, UK conference. Last year we had a great conference in Leicester. This year, unfortunately, we are not able to be physically in Leicester. And I do hope that for 2021 UK conference, we will be able to be back to the UK. So I'm Gilad. I manage the HPC AI Advisory Council activities together with a great team of people that contribute from their time and energy to help foster the capabilities or knowledge or usage or the next generation of HPC professionals. The council was established in 2008 with the motivation to help with increased usage and education and bring to more people the knowledge about what they can do with high-performance computing and later on also with AI. The council includes today more than 400 member companies, universities, or research labs. I think we're probably around 425 to be more exact. And the council is doing a lot of things, from publishing best practices, providing information on how to build an optimized an HPC or AI center, how to start with it, doing technology demonstrations of new capabilities that are being developed, sometimes even before they hit the market, and supporting with a compute center that provides free access for developers or researchers that want to run their own applications, benchmarks, help with the development and things of that sort. My main task within the organization is try to put all of the logos of all of the members on one slide. So I think there is some room somewhere here. So anyone that is not part of the council is very much encouraged to join the council. Joining doesn't cost anything. It's free to join. And with joining, you will be much closer to the activities that are happening within the council. The council operates based on the contribution of people, time, and energy, as I mentioned before. So people that join are more than welcome to help drive the council mission. So some of the things we're doing, the first one is operating a cluster center. So it's not a huge HPC center, but it's a decent size, and it does include multiple of different technologies, different CPU kinds, different networking capabilities, storage, and things of that sort. With that rich set of capabilities, folks can get free access to the cluster center, and then be able to run their own tests on benchmarks and explore different kind of technologies, to develop different kind of applications, to measure those capabilities of applications, and many other things. All the information on the center, the system that exists within the center, and how to access the center, it's all on the website. We're also managing an HPC-Works community, which provides a lot of information on how to build an HPC or AI cluster, how to run applications, how to optimize them, what's the differences between the different software frameworks, compilers, and so forth, how to start running the benchmarking, how you compare the performance that you're getting and understand what you're seeing as an output. And we are optimizing, or not just optimizing, but enhancing the publications whenever there is a new technology that is being released or going to be released to the market. So helping people understand the capabilities of such things. We're also doing a lot of application best practices and publishing the results on the council website. You see here a snapshot of the different kind of applications that we have explored over the years. Typically, per each applications, we start with doing profiling of it, understanding the different dependencies, if it's a CPU bound, memory bound, network bounds, and so forth. And then what is the impact of different capabilities of a CPU or different CPUs, different MPI frameworks, different compilers, different networking setting, and so forth. So we're doing a full explorations, and everything is, again, on the website. On the website, you also will be able to see kind of historical progress, looking on previous CPUs or previous networking elements, and then the progress of performance and capabilities over time. Another important part of the council activities is the student competitions. We are managing and happy to manage several university-based competitions around the world. We are managing the annual ISC student cluster competition that happens every year in Germany. This year it was virtually done in Germany. Hopefully next year it will be back to ISC, which hosts teams from different countries to compete on building their own small supercomputer, and then to run applications and demonstrate the highest performance that they can achieve on the system that they build. We're doing managing competitions in the APAC region. Similar ideas, managing workshops around programming. This year we have managed a workshop and then competition around RDMA programming, which is a key technology for moving data between servers and storage in a most effective way, a most efficient way. And we're also helping and conducting summer series workshops. Last year we did one in Stanford for the students there, and we're doing similar things in other places. We see that as a very important part of the council mission, which helps to foster the next generation of HPC community. And as part of that, we are also publishing and updating the student cluster competition leadership list, which covers information gathered from all of the university-based competitions around the world, the ones that we manage, and the ones that are happening in other places, such as the competition at supercomputing, the local competition in South Africa, the local competitions in China when it happens. And then we're gathering all the information on the participation and the achievements on the different universities and rank them according to their participation and achievements. So you're more than welcome to see where your university, if you're a student, is ranked. And if it's not there, I'm sure that you will want to be there. So with that, I do want to welcome you to the virtual 2020 UK conference. I want to thank Mark, Claire, and Jeremy for their collaboration, support, for making this conference something that's happened. We greatly appreciate all the collaborations over time. And first, I want to wish you a great conference, a great virtual conference today and tomorrow. And I do hope that next year we'll be able to do the same with the support of Mark, Claire, and Jeremy, and to be able to do it physically in the UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gilad. And now let's move it over to Dr. Mark Wilkinson, Director of the DRAC HPC facility. Mark, like Gilad had mentioned, we really appreciate both yours, Claire's, and Jeremy's support and collaboration with the conference. You have the floor.
Great. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for the introduction. And yeah, welcome to Leicester, in inverted commas, and the second HPC-AI Advisory Council UK conference. As Gilad already said, we would have liked this to be a face-to-face conference in Leicester. And so just to show you what that would have been like, this is a picture of the University of Leicester. It's actually from the past. You can tell it's from the past because if you look in the sky, there are these strange white features which some of you may recognize as being vapor trails from things called aeroplanes, which some of you may remember traveling on. I can't hear the virtual laughter about that, but I'll assume you're all muted. This is the conference center where it would have been. Those of you who were here last year will remember it, college course at the University of Leicester. And as Gilad said, hopefully we'll be able to welcome you here again next year for the 2021 conference. So on behalf of DRAC, the DRAC HPC facility, I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you to all the speakers who are involved in today's meeting. Obviously, this year has been a very challenging year for everyone, and I hope all of you and your families have all been safe and well during this period. A lot has happened, however, even though there's been a lockdown all around the world. A lot of things are going on in terms of UK HPC. So there's new funding has recently been announced for a number of projects. So DRAC 3 Phase 1 is going ahead, and that'll be done over the next 6 months. Jasmine, the Jasmine facility, the Iris facility within STFC have both received funding. Archer 2, that deployment is well underway. And there's also the Excalibur program, which a software and hardware program in preparation for exascale that has kicked off over the last 6 months. So you'll be hearing talks about many of those, particularly about Excalibur, later on today. I'd also highlight a new event in December, CI UK, so it's Computing Insight UK, which is the main STFC industry computing conference, is organising an inaugural cluster competition based around the same ideas as Gilad outlined for the HPC Advisory Council cluster competitions. And I'd like to, on behalf of CI UK, I would thank Gilad for the support and advice that he's provided in getting that set up. As well as being an exciting year in terms of the new deployments that are coming up, it's exciting in terms of the hardware that's available. There's a lot of competition in all aspects, in all components of the HPC market at the moment. So that makes it an interesting time to be looking to buy new systems. Funding in the future is obviously challenging, but As many of you will know, there's a lot of work underway to secure a funding line for HPC in the UK as part of the government spending review that's going on at the moment. Now, obviously, everything is uncertain given all the other pressures on government budgets at the moment, but just to let you all know, there is a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and there's hope that there will be a good outcome from that either towards the end of the year or next year. And in that context, the supercomputing science case for UKRI is basically finished. This was put together by an editorial board from across UKRI, so it covers all aspects of research across UKRI. For the non-UK people, UKRI is the funding body that joins together all the research councils. So it's kind of the superset of all the research councils in the UK. So the science case, as I said, covers all the different areas. You can see examples of the highlights mentioned there, and it explains the science drivers behind requirements at scales of tier 1, so kind of the petascale systems, and tier 0, so pre-exascale and exascale systems. And the reason for doing this is it's a peer-reviewed document. The peer review process has just finished, and so we're preparing the final version to be made public next week. The reason to have this is the plan for the future systems that we deploy is that we continue to base the requirements on detailed science cases. So the starting point for designing those systems is to have a peer-reviewed science case setting out what it is we want to do from the science perspective, and then translate that into hardware and software requirements. And a lot of that will be discussed in talks in the rest of today and tomorrow. And so this case will be available to everyone who's working on business cases associated with the UKRI roadmap for HPC. I'd also like to thank EPSRC for managing what was a very long and complex peer review process, because it's very difficult to get a set of reviewers who are able to cover essentially everything, every area of UKRI science and research. So that was a very challenging process, but we're very grateful particularly to Sarah King for all the work that she did on that. And I'd like to end by saying, wishing you all a very good conference over the next 2 days. I'd like to say some thank yous, because even though this is a virtual conference, it takes real work to actually put it on and organize it. It doesn't just happen, as all of you will know. So thank you to Sydney Stevens, Brian Sparks, and Gilad Shiner for all the work they've done in putting everything together. Thank you to Jeremy Yates and Claire Jenner, my colleagues in Dirac, who have also worked very hard on putting the program together, and also to Lisa Brandt from University of Leicester, who contributed a lot. And I'm looking forward to a really interesting couple of days, or a couple of afternoons, and I hope to see you all in person soon, hopefully, if this time next year in Leicester, if not before. And I will leave it there. Thank you.